Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio, and I might say, enjoying every minute of it. Just having a blast here. Really appreciate the fact that you have decided to stop by, listen to the show. Listener writes in and listen to this. Tom, I am 13. It's an email I received. And I just want to say I am a long-time listener. I've been listening since age 7. You held boys' night out the wrong week. I am at my mom's house that week, and she is a bitch. I have no choice in where I live while I have an evaluation with the court the week before. Well, I can only imagine what will happen if they ask you what you've learned from the Tom Leykis Show. Or even that you listen to the Tom Leykis Show. 13, he's been listening since age 7. Every once in a while on our program, I like talking to the young'uns. Especially the ones who've been listening for, as they call it, a long time. And finding out what they've learned here. Boys and girls both. The younger the better. Now, if like this listener, whose name is Ty wrote in and said these things. If like Ty, you've been listening for a long time, and you have learned things. My mom is a bitch. I'm 13, my mom is a bitch. If you have learned things from the program, I'm not going to talk to anybody over the age of, let's say, 50. Let's keep it to 15 and under. So if you're under the age of 15 and a long-time listener to the Tom Leykis Show, I'd like to find out what you've learned here. It could be about anything. I'm not looking for any one answer. It could be about 101, of course, and that's mostly what people call about. But it could be about any topic, any subject, anything we've stated an opinion about, anything people have called about. Stuff you've heard on the show that you repeated that your mom screamed at you for, or your dad screamed at you. Not your dad screamed at you, but there are pussies out there. So if you're one of the younger ones, if you are 15 years old or under and you have learned something from this program, call this toll-free telephone number right now. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. But you have to be 15 or under. 15 or under. So start dialing now, and Dino will talk to you, and then he will put you on the air. It's that simple. Let's go to the phones. Brent in Buckley, Washington. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Brent, hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
You're 15.
Yeah.
All right, and how long have you been listening?
Since I was, maybe my brother got me hooked on it when I was like 7.
7?
Yeah.
All right, so you've been listening for 8 years, half your life.
Yeah.
All right. What have you learned by listening?
Not to get married.
Not to get married.
Yeah, until like I'm in my 50s.
Until you're in your 50s. There you go. Did you tell your mom that?
I don't live with my mom. I live with my brother.
How does your brother feel about that?
He thinks it's awesome because he has a kid and he went through the system, yeah, and stuff like that.
Oh, so he's paying child support?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he got screwed. So you learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Now, have you had sex yet?
No.
No. Okay. When you do, you will use a condom, I take it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. That's very important. Have you learned anything else from the show?
That you can't trust anybody besides yourself.
Uh-huh. And what have you learned about women from the show?
That they can be, can I say the B word?
Yeah.
That they can be bitches.
Uh-huh. Have you known any?
Yeah, a couple. My mom.
Your mom's a bitch?
Yeah.
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 And have you discussed any of the issues we talk about on the air with her?
No, no.
Do you talk to her at all?
Sometimes. She lives in Westport. Washington. So, yeah.
I understand. Wow. Does your brother listen also?
Oh yeah, he listens when he's coming home from work.
And what happened to your dad?
He's passed on.
I see. How'd you end up with your brother?
When my dad passed on, I decided that I want to live with my brother, and yeah.
How old is he?
He's 28.
28, okay. So your mom had you a lot later?
Yeah, a lot later.
What was going on with that?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right, just checking. Well, Brent, I really appreciate you calling in.
Yep.
Thanks for the call. Rachel is in Northridge, California. She's 14 years old. Rachel, you're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Rachel.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm okay.
All right. What have you learned from listening?
I've learned actually a bunch of stuff. That, first of all, you're my birthday buddy.
Oh, we born on the same day?
Yes.
Wow.
My dad told me that.
Oh, look at that.
I'm sorry. Okay. And that never spend over $40 on a person on a date. Always use protection. And if you want to have a baby, get married.
Yes. And don't get married until when?
Until you're over 30.
All right, 30 is good. 25 is the minimum, but 30 is good. The later, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how does your dad feel about the fact that you hear all this stuff?
Well, it's always on in the car, so he doesn't really care. He's very open about everything.
Is he really?
Yes.
Are your mom and your dad together?
Yes.
All right. What does your mom think about it?
She has disagreements with you sometimes, as well as me, but we still always listen.
Have you argued with your mom about stuff we've talked about?
No, not really.
No, not really? Yeah. Do you know anyone else who listens?
Yes. Sorry, my brother and my mother are, like, listening in the other room.
Oh, I see.
It's really funny.
I see.
I'm sorry.
No, tell me, who else do you know who listens?
My principal. My brother.
Your principal talked to you about listening to the Tom Leykis Show?
No, he told my parents that he listens.
Oh, okay.
And a bunch of people. I can't, like, name them all because it's, like, a lot.
Oh, boy. Look at that. We have a big audience out there.
Yes, you do.
And do most people agree or disagree with what we say here?
They agree and disagree on some issues. And agree on other issues.
Yeah. Wow. So, what kind of a girlfriend are you going to be when you start dating?
A non, obsessive, creepy kind of person.
Very good. I'm glad to hear that, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call.
Oh, my pleasure.
I appreciate it. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Randy. Randy's in Orange County. She's 14 years old. Randy, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Randy.
How are you?
Do you care?
Well, I've been listening to you for, a long time.
How long a time have you been listening?
Maybe, 4 years.
4 years. Wow.
Yeah, my dad talks to you, listens to you on the radio. And my mom, disagrees on some things, but I learned a lot from you.
Tell us some of the things you've learned.
I listen to, on Thursdays, a Sona when you say sometimes, guys never hold the girls' purses. And when I go out to dinner, I see, guys holding girls' purses. I'm like, oh, my gosh, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
And, what is it? Oh, I see single mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And, I see guys saying, I'm like, hello, have you ever listened to Tom?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just want to say thank you, and you, give really good advice to younger people.
Well, thank you for that, Randy.
Well, can you bum me up?
Of course I can.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis.
I love your show. Your show is what turns me on midday.
The Tom Leykis Show.
talking to the young people who have learned a lot by listening to the Tom Leykis Show. People 15 and under, if that's you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is 14-year-old Patrick. He lives in the San Fernando Valley. Patrick, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Patrick.
How's it going?
Going great. How about with you?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yep.
How long have you been a listener?
About 5 years. My dad got me hooked on it.
Really? Now, your mom and dad together?
No, they're divorced.
That figures.
Yeah.
All right, so you've been listening since you were 9 years old.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a long time. That's about a third of your life.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so what have you learned?
I've learned what my dad calls the December dump. You, when you have a girlfriend, you break up after Thanksgiving and get back together after Valentine's. You never have to buy a gift for her.
Exactly right. You put her on ice.
Yep.
Wow, you're ready to use that. I can tell. You're ready to move into action here.
Yep.
Wow. What? Has your dad tried that one, by the way?
Now he's getting married I don't know.
Did you ask your dad if he has a prenup?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, well, what about your inheritance? You don't want him giving that away, do you?
I don't know.
Maybe you want to find out about that.
And my brother says hi.
Say hi to your brother for me. Now, what else have you learned by tuning in here?
Basically not to get married.
Not to get married. Did you want to get married before you tuned in?
I don't know.
But now you know for sure you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you. Anything else?
Just want to say I'm a big fan, Tom.
Well, thank you, Patrick.
All right.
Appreciate the call. Christian is 9 years old. He lives in Moreno Valley, California. Christian, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Christian.
Hey, I've been listening to you for 3 years since I was 6.
Wow.
I live with my dad listens to you, and my uncle listens to you.
And your mom and your dad are divorced?
Yeah.
Okay. And what have you learned by tuning in?
Not to get married, to date girls after you're 25, and
what else?
No single moms.
And what?
And no single moms.
Oh, no single moms, yes. And do you remember why no single moms? Do you know why?
No.
Well, why would you want to be with some other guy's kids?
No.
Right?
No.
Exactly. Now, does your mom know you listen?
No.
Is she not supposed to know?
No, not that much.
Okay. And, Christian, does your dad is a listener also, I take it?
Yep.
Uh-huh. And did he ask you to listen, or did you listen on your own?
I just listen on my own.
That's great. And he likes the fact that you listen, your dad does?
Yep.
As he should. That's good. And how much would you spend on a date, Christian? What's the most you would ever spend?
0%.
How much?
0%.
Zero if you can get away with it. That's right. Exactly. And what do you do if a girl wants to get married and you're too young?
Don't get married.
Don't get married. Good for you. I am proud. I'm happy to have you, Christian.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Okay. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Stephen is 15. He lives in Portland, Oregon. Stephen, you're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Father.
How you doing, son?
Good. How about you?
Doing great.
Yeah.
How long have you been listening to the show?
Off and on since I was like 9.
Since you were 9. Okay.
Dad.
Oh, look at this. I love that. Are your mom and dad together?
Yeah, they're still together.
What does your mom think of the show?
She laughs at it half the time.
All right, I'll take that. And your dad is a listener also?
Yeah. He's he's been listening to you for a while now.
Very good. Yeah. What have you learned from tuning in?
Not to marry single women and not to marry till you're like 30 so you can have all the fun you want.
All right, no single mothers. I mean, hopefully you'll marry a single woman if you ever get married.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to marry a married woman.
Yeah.
No single mothers.
Nope, not at all.
Right. And
don't get somebody girl pregnant.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Always use a condom.
Yep. My dad bought me condoms when I was like 11.
Perfect. Have you used any yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. You're waiting for your opportunity, and you'll get that opportunity.
Yes, I will.
Now, what do we tell you about, when you're 16, 17, 18, and chicks your age won't talk to you? What do you do?
Not talk to them.
Yeah, you date older women. That's what we told you.
Exactly.
You go after chicks who are like, late 20s, 30 years old, who know what they're doing.
Yep.
They'll be so flattered that you're into them. And they'll think it's because you think they're still hot. In reality, you'll just take anybody that evening.
Yep.
That's how that works. Very good.
All right.
I'm proud, Stephen.
Well, thanks for talking to me.
Thank you. Anytime. Appreciate the call. Matthew is a 15-year-old from Tahunga, California. Matthew, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
How you doing, Matthew?
I'm good, man. I had to call you. My mom was calling me right after my football practice saying that Tom wants his young callers to call in. I had to make sure I called. I've been listening to you for about close to 6 years. I've been listening since I was 10 years old.
Wow.
And, this is just like my Bible. Like, I eat, sleep, and just read Tom. Like, every girl, I just make sure that they give me what I need. I never just give it out like that, Don't be paying for their dinners and stuff.
Uh-huh.
They want to go to the movies, they got to pay for themselves.
That's right. How do they react to that?
Man, they got to act right. I mean, because I look good, and I always keep myself looking right, and I stay well, good grades in school, because I just want to get my education and make that money.
Yeah.
And get them younger women.
Well, this is what I tell you all the time. You've got to get that education. You've got to make sure you get as many degrees as you can stand. And make sure you've got a specific goal for your career. Because the better career you have and the more money you make, the hotter, younger chicks you will ultimately get.
Yeah, and, like, my parents are still together. I've been hearing all these kids with divorced parents. My parents are together, and they both want me to listen because they just know that this is the best for me. Like, just listen to my second father.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just got to say thank you, you just keep me on track, and I'm getting the girl, so what can I say? Thank you, Tom.
I am proud of you.
Take me out African style with a little bit of Kobe.
Here you go, Matthew. One 800-5800-TOM.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
1-800-5800-866. Gotta let Kobe do his thing there. All right, we have 15-year-old Alex. He's in Seattle. Alex, you're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Alex.
It is such an honor to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yes. I think my cell phone's cutting out. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, anyways, I decided I wanted to go to college after listening to your show.
Really? So you were not going to go, and then you heard me talk about it on the air?
Well, I was kind of on the fence about it. My mom and my dad, they both suggested that I go, but it was pretty much like, if you want to, go ahead, but if you don't, don't. And I think it was you who said you owe it to yourself to be the best you can be.
Yes.
Was that you?
That was me.
And those words inspired me, so I've decided I want to go to college.
Well, as I said to the last caller, the more degrees you have, the more success you have in a career, the hotter, younger chicks you will get.
Exactly.
And if when they tell you to stay in school, they never give you a good reason to do it. They have those public service announcements on TV, and they have these vague threats. If you don't go to school, blah blah blah. But I'm telling you, from the school of hard knocks. By the way, I could not afford to graduate college. My dad would not help me financially with college, and I had to stop. So I'm telling you from experience. The more money you make, the more success you have, the better chicks you will get. The guy who decides, I'm just going to repair motorcycles, or I'm just going to move boxes or whatever. Well, yeah, he doesn't have to study, and he doesn't have to go to school, and he can party on Friday night and go to work on Saturday with a hangover. But you know what? He's going to get the fat, homely chick who's got 2 kids already. That's who he's going to get.
Exactly.
The more you study, the harder you work, the hotter, younger chicks you will get.
And I'm like that typical nerd you describe.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, if I don't get this, I mean, I'm just going to be a loser if I can't graduate and do good.
Well, we need you to graduate and do well. Do you have a plan, like a career, a major yet?
I'd like to go into the entertainment industry. I mean, I've actually done some guest DJ work already.
Uh-huh.
And it was really fun, and I've decided I'd like to start there. I mean, I'm not sure if I'd like to be a DJ forever, but I'm really into anime and stuff, and so I'd like to try voice acting.
Uh-huh.
I know that's probably not the best.
Well, it's one of many things you can do, but there are certain directions you can take. Entertainment law is a very lucrative field where you will be in the entertainment business. And you'll still be working long after the people you've signed the contracts, their careers are over. You'll still be employed.
Yeah.
And then you're always free to do. I went to a birthday party recently of a record company executive. And, the guy is not a musician. He's a record company executive. But, on his birthday, he got up on stage on the Sunset Strip. And he started ripping off some tunes. He started playing, When he wants to go out and play on stage, he can. But guess what? He goes back to his office Monday morning and hires and fires people and signs acts to contracts and terminates contracts. And he continues to work.
Yeah.
So that's what we recommend to you, is to try to find a gig that will keep you employed. If you want to do voice acting, there's all kinds of classes you can take outside of college for that. And I recommend them because it really is acting. But when you're in school, I think you want to learn about business.
Right now, I actually am taking a course in Introduction to Business.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm proud, Alex. I really am.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Keep in touch.
All right, I will.
All right. Thanks a lot for the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I was dating a guy for 3 months, and we never even did anything but have sex. That was considered like a boyfriend and girlfriend kind of a thing.
I wouldn't consider it a boyfriend-girlfriend kind of thing.
What would you call it?
Booty call.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show from Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. Boys Night Out. Coming soon to where you are. The Inland Empire, Riverside. On Friday, October 7th at 8:30 p.m. Be there for that. You can get tickets right now by calling 714-740-2000 or go to Ticketmaster.com. Boys Night Out in Seattle. 1 week from Friday, September 30th at 8:30 p.m. at the legendary Paramount Theater. Bobby Slayton, of course, is our headliner. We'll be there along with Steve Brewer and John DeResta. Over-the-top comedy, absolutely outrageous, X-rated material you could never get on the radio. And I, as your MC, will say things you'll never hear me say here. Tickets have been flying out the door. You can call this number in Seattle, 206-529-4051. 206-529-4051. You can go to Ticketmaster.com. Or for any Boys Night Out information, any Boys Night Out event, you can just go to blowmeuptom.com. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. We've been talking to the kids about what they've learned from tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. Lisa is not 15 or under, but she has something to say here. Lisa.
Yes, Tom.
What can I do for you?
Well, I've been listening to your show for about 6 months, and I do enjoy it. It's funny, it's innovative, but these young men that are listening, or boys, I should say, that are listening to your show and implementing this into their life about, not having single moms, and screwing everything as long as you wear a condom, and, never getting married.
This is all good stuff. Use a condom. Don't date a single mother. This is all good information.
Oh, but I guess it's really working because, we have all this high pregnancy rates and,
Actually, the pregnancy rate among teenagers has gone down dramatically over the last few years. That's been documented by the CDC.
That it's actually higher than 10 years ago. So where are we going?
Well, I haven't been on for all the years they've been taking statistics. I can only account for the time I've been here. And the time I've been here, teenage pregnancies are down because I tell the boys to use condoms. I tell the boys to look out for girls who want to get pregnant, not to let women talk them into having babies, not to get married before their time. And this is all good advice.
Well, you might get 1 out of 10. But in the same sense...
I'm only concerned about the ones I hit, not the ones I don't hit.
Okay, well then what about, not marrying mothers that already have children, or like widows or whatever. I mean, what are they, damaged goods? I mean,
to put it bluntly, they are.
Well, it's not their fault.
But it's not our problem, even though it's not their fault. But boo-hoo-hoo, I feel sorry for them. But guess what? It's not our job to make them whole.
So, Tom, I mean, you're talking about your mom when you talk about everybody else, too.
My mom was not a single mother. My mom had babies after she got married.
Okay, so if your father...
She had them in the context of a traditional family unit.
So you're saying that you would not have think that she could ever get remarried had something have ever happened to your dad? She's just damaged...
She probably could get remarried, but I would not recommend that any man marry a woman who already has children.
Well, I just disagree that you're telling them all these boys this.
But it's not in the guy's interest. It's in the woman's interest to find a husband. It's not in the guy's interest to get married to that woman.
No, the guy is always searching too. They're looking for...
They're not looking to pick up somebody else's garbage out of the recycle bin.
No, they're looking for anything.
All right, but guess what? There's a lot of women who have no children, and those are the ones they should be going for.
And something else.
What's that?
The more degrees, the more money, the more power, the hotter chicks you get.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with that, but they are also very lonely. The most powerful, richest men in America.
That's wishful thinking on your part. I am a powerful, rich man, and I am anything but lonely.
Well, you know what? You might be happy now, but that doesn't bring you happiness. Probably your job.
You don't know what brings people happiness. Being that you are not rich, I don't think you know. There are plenty of happy rich people. There are plenty of unhappy rich people. And I would go so far as to say, since I've been both poor and rich, it's my belief that the unhappy rich people are people who inherited their money, not people who earned it. People who earned their money and got rich have the satisfaction of knowing they accomplished something. They have a quantifiable measure of their hard work and success. I feel incredibly accomplished because I came from nowhere to become a self-made multimillionaire. I don't feel lonely or depressed at all. I'm thrilled.
But, okay, so the happy chicks or the good-looking chicks in your life are the only things that make you happy?
No, they're not the only things that make me happy, but guess what? Men want to have sex. And the best way to have sex for a man is to be with the youngest, hottest chick you can get. And the more money and more degrees, more success you have, the younger, hotter chicks you can get. And that's a fact, by the way.
I'm not disagreeing in it, but why you're telling these young boys that?
Because it's true.
But they're not all going to aspire to that. I just heard of someone today, a friend of mine, his 16-year-old son got another girl pregnant.
Well, I just talked to somebody this hour who said he wasn't going to go to college until he heard me tell the reasons why he should go to college, and now he's going to go.
And he's probably going to go to college and get somebody pregnant.
Dear, I told him not to get anybody pregnant. He knows to use a condom. He said so.
But the chances are against him than for him.
No, they're not against him. That's not true. Most people do not get pregnant, and most boys do not impregnate girls.
I guess women do.
Huh?
I mean, men are the only ones that can impregnate girls.
Well, I'm just saying, most men do not impregnate most women.
Well, I'm sure...
So the odds are not against them. They're in favor of them.
I'm sure they didn't go out and have sex thinking, gosh, I'm going to get this fucked up tonight. But
no, but I think they think, I don't like the way a condom feels, or she said, take that nasty thing off, or whatever. I tell the boys, condoms 100% of the time, because you don't want to be paying her for the next 18 years.
That's true.
That's good advice.
I have 3 daughters, and I will tell you one thing. I'm not going to sit there and tell them, I'm not going to be stupid with them. They're all very, very young right now, but I'm not going to be stupid with them. But I'm going to let them know that you're telling all these young boys some of the stuff that my husband and I are just scared to death about.
What are you scared to death about?
Well, just them leading the boys that you're telling them, okay, it's okay, go ahead and have sex. And
Here, let me tell you something, without my advising them. Today, I don't know how old your daughters are. They're probably under 10 years old, I imagine.
They're under 6.
Under 6. Okay,
yes.
Today. But we're talking the group between 11 and 17. What percentage of 11 to 17-year-old girls have engaged in oral sex?
I'm going to say probably 40%.
50%.
That's pretty high.
Yes, it is. That's today. Your girls aren't even 11 yet.
I know.
So,
I know.
You understand, it has nothing to do with what I'm telling people.
Well, then why encourage it? I mean, if it's already happening,
Dear, I don't have to encourage it. It's going to happen whether I encourage it or not.
Well, I just wish that you would kind of tell these boys, go to college and get stuff, but
which I do.
Hey, just wait.
But their main, and let me tell you something, the main inspiration for men to achieve in life is women. Whether it be artists, whether it be geeks who work hard on computers, whether it be bankers. That's what they're doing. They want to get hotter, younger chicks. That's what they're working for.
Well,
that's their inspiration. I mean, what are they earning the money for?
Well, I guess you tell me.
I'm telling you. I will be very honest with you. I first went on the radio at 14. I was the 7th grade geek who went on the radio at age 14, and suddenly I was cool. And I realized that by becoming successful in the radio business, I could get hot chicks. And that was my inspiration. I'm being honest with you.
My husband is a radio disc jockey.
Really?
Yes.
Do I know him?
Well, he works, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You might.
Maybe I do.
Yeah.
Well, how did he meet you on the request line?
No. No.
I'll bet he met other people on the request line.
Well, maybe, but he did get a hot chick.
Oh, well, there you go. That is why we do this.
But he did it also because he was kind of like you. He came from nothing and wanted to be something. But he didn't go to college and say, okay, I just want to get on the radio and then, with anything that ever has a pulse, He wanted... I
don't want to be with anything that has a pulse. I want to be with hot, young chicks.
And
if you're 180 pounds and you have a pulse, I'm not interested.
Well, that's true. He's all about that, too.
No interest. If you're 47 years old and you have a pulse, not interested.
Well, I don't care who you are. You need to be choosy, for crying out loud.
That's what I'm telling you. I am choosy.
But there are men, you've seen them, that aren't.
I'm not one of them.
Yeah, well... that's probably true. But I'm telling you, what I'm talking about. You see other guys out there, and
I know that when a guy is 21, it's any port in a storm. Like they say at the freeway exit, easy on, easy off.
Yeah. And it's like, be choosy. For crying out loud. I don't know where that's been,
Well, you know what? As I always say, you heard the analogy I've used on the air, right?
Yeah.
When I need to take a leak, my preference is to go to the Ritz-Carlton or the Four Seasons, because that is the best urinal in town. You go in there, soft lighting. There's a gentleman there who hands you a towel when you wash your hands and spritzes you with cologne. And you go in there, and everything is clean. And after you use the room, someone goes in and cleans it again. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. But every once in a while, you're on a dark, lonely road, and you see a Shell station in the distance. Well, they haven't cleaned the bathroom since 1987. Now, if you need to go, you're going in there.
I guess so. I'm not a guy.
Are you getting my analogy here?
I totally get it.
Some women are the Ritz-Carlton, and some are the Shell station. But you know what? When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Oh, yeah. Leykis. Leykis.
She's giving you an ultimatum. Do you know what I say about women who give you ultimatums?
Yeah.
Dump that bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking to the young people who've learned from tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. Danny is 12 years old. He's in the 7th grade on Mercer Island. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Danny.
What's up?
Oh, not much, Danny. What can I do for you?
I don't know. I think I'm fine.
Have you been a listener for a long time?
Not a long time, but I've definitely listened. Sometimes when me and my dad are driving down the road, he pops Tom on, we just listen. It's just a great show.
Are your dad and mom together?
Yeah.
What does your mom think of you listening to the Tom Leykis Show?
I'm not exactly sure. We never really, I don't know how to explain it. We never,
tell her what we listen to on the radio, I mean.
Oh, I see. It's just between you and your dad, huh?
Yeah, it's just sort of a guy thing.
I understand. And what have you learned from listening?
Well, I definitely remember about the thing where you were talking about not marrying a single woman or something.
Not marrying a single mother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and like there's the nice guy who was with a single mother.
Oh, we've got quite a few of those, Danny.
The Tom Leykis Show.